This is Adam Miller, your movies correspondent and associate producer for the RPM Show. And in this video, I will be switching gears from movies to TV in order to bring you a so far up-to-date analysis and a mid-season evaluation of NCIS in its 8th season. Now, if you watched my video that I did in September after the season premiere, you will know that after that episode, I told you basically that everything that I had predicted or expected to happen with that episode pretty much did. And so I will not be repeating myself, from that video with this one. Now, here I will be giving you a couple of the major highlights that have happened so far. And I will also end the video by giving you a very small but ultimately surprising little piece of news that you can expect if you watch the show in the upcoming months as the season goes along. Because it was announced like last month, and I'm sure it's happened already. But it's something that you probably didn't hear, or you probably already heard, that you probably heard on our show, but you probably also heard, in media news. Now, first on the list we have to talk about a little bit is that we had the return of DiNozzo's father, played by Robert Wagner. Now, he returned and actually aided the team in a murder investigation. Now, in the end of that episode, however, we saw probably something that could lead to a bringing together of both DiNozzos, father and son. Now, their estrangement is very similar to, well, not so much similar, but kind of in the same ballpark as the estrangement that we first saw in season 6 between Gibbs and his father when we met him in that episode. Now, of course, the estrangement in that relationship has kind of been resolved, and now they're together, they're father and son the way they should be. Now, this DiNozzo and DiNozzo, they still have a lot of estrangement to resolve. But however, at the end of that episode, when his father pulls out a picture of DiNozzo on a fishing boat with his father, and when he's a teenager, he tells him, "I've been keeping this picture in my wallet for all these years, and I always think of you every day." And to me, that seems that this relationship is close to being resolved. It seems like DiNozzo, father and son, are coming together, and hopefully during the rest of the show, they will be, just like Gibbs and his dad. Now, the major highlight for the season that we've had a 2-part episode in which Eli David comes to DC. And of course, we all remember that in the end of season 6, that Ziva left NCIS and rejoined Mossad under her father, who was the director of Mossad. And of course, she is looking for a terrorist location in the deserts of Somalia. However, she gets captured, and she gets left there, and her father just pretty much leaves her there. And of course, we find this out in the opening episodes of season 7, when they find out that Eli David could have went after and saved his daughter, but he chose not to. And that's when Ziva started ignoring her father and not talking to him. So there's another estranged, father and daughter. Now, there's an attempt on Eli David's life, which is the main purpose of that episode. Now, in the second part of that episode, we are given a background into the origins of the relationship between NCIS Director Vance and Eli David, which began in Belgium when Vance was recruited by the FBI to do undercover work in Belgium for the FBI. And that's, of course, when he meets Eli David, and, of course, their relationship that they've had for all the years since came together. Now, in the end of the episode, Ziva and her father, they kind of share a little bit of words to each other, but it seems like there's a beginning of a resolution there. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that remains to be seen. Now, also returning this year from last year, we also have the main leader, Abigail Boren, who was the head of the Coast Guard Investigative Service, who was kind of the sister investigative service to NCIS. She returned for an episode, and it was very great to see her. It was another murder investigation that happened on a singles date boat. In other words, it's a boat cruise that singles go on, hopefully to meet their significant other. Now, that episode was, of course, great, as is all NCIS episodes. Now, those are the main highlights for the season. Now, we've had a few major guest stars, like 2 weeks ago, we had Bob Newhart, which was awesome, who's a huge veteran of TV. And, of course, on the second episode of the season, we had William Devane, who gave, I think, a Emmy-worthy performance. Now, one thing to look forward to, now we've also got months ahead of us. We've got possibly I've heard a number of major guest stars to appear. Some that I haven't announced, some they're just saying they're looking for major guest stars, so we don't know yet. And of course, we're coming up to the latter half of the season where they're probably going to give a little bit of insight as to where they could end the season, where it's going to be anchored. The cliffhanger, the traditional cliffhangers that they always have at the end of the season. Where that's going to happen, we don't know. I don't know yet. We don't know yet. No one knows. It's all in the writing from the writers. It's all in their minds right about now. But one thing to look forward to, I don't know if all of you have heard this yet, but NCIS's very own Michael Weatherly will be directing an episode. Or actually, I think he has already directed an episode. It was an episode that actually was said to be filmed this month, so he's probably already done it. But it will air later in the season, so it could be like March or April or February for that matter. I don't know yet. But this is going to be a directing debut for Michael Weatherly, so that's going to be very interesting to look at and see, because you will see that not only is Donoso in it, but he is directing it behind the camera, so that's just going to be interesting. Now, all you NCIS fans, I want to know what you think of the season so far, so email me at adam@therpmshow.com, and of course, anybody who watches this who probably never even heard of NCIS, who's not a huge fan like I am, and just want to know what is going on, just email me at adam@therpmshow.com, as said before. And also check out our website, therpmshow.com, and check out Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. We are on those. We're also on Hub Pages, BlackBerry, and of course, download, stream podcasts of us on iTunes. And also stay tuned for more episodes. We got more to bring to you, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you later.